Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new F1 2021 League Racing video. Today we're back with PSGL for the final round of this season around Portimao. It has not been a very long season. I think it had 10 races, maybe less. Yeah, I think 9 races. I can't remember exactly, but this is the final round. We've already wrapped up the championship in the drivers. And we've also won the Constructors title, so both P1 in those, which is very good. As you can see, Lucas Blakely go P1 with a 1:16.5 on the mediums. So that means that he won't try to qualify on the mediums in Q2. Whatever tire you qualify on in Q2, you have to start a race on, as you guys might know from earlier videos. So we're gonna try to qualify on mediums in Q2. So that's why we're going out on the softs now. This is definitely not going to be an easy race, as I'm fully focusing on the first F1 Esports event, which is this Wednesday. It's the first first two qualifyings and the first two races, I think so. I don't know the schedule exactly from my head, but yeah, first three tracks are going to be China, Bahrain and Austria. So I'm fully focusing on that and kind of left the league racing side a bit unpracticed. I practiced 10 minutes for this, so it's gonna be very hard to put some qualifying laps together here. I filled up for 2 laps, so I can get some practice in this Q1 session. I'm not sure if I will do 2 straight runs, of course, because we might need these tires later on again. But yeah, this is gonna be a tough race without any proper practice done. But that makes it very fun, of course. So into turn 1 for the first time, braking at 60 meters down to 6th gear. We get a very nice apex. Really got it together, I feel like. Down to 2nd gear, a little bit of a lock up, but no major mistake as we go through the next left hand. The DRS open for the second time this lap. Into the downhill left, braking at around 80 meters down to 2nd gear. Missed the apex by quite a bit. A bit of oversteer on the exit as well. So that's not ideal. But it's only Q1, as you guys might know. Through this very difficult right-hander, very easy to lose the backhand through here. As it's uphill, the balance changes to oversteer massively. Also, you might experience some rear locking or some, yeah, rear locking if the diff is too open on the off throttle. But yeah, now next left-hander, this is where the tires start to scream for help, as the tire temperatures are getting pretty high. Into the next right-hander, very important to keep the minimum speed up. And now it's all flat out until the line, 7th gear, and then try to take the short line up to finish, opening the DRS for a few meters, and that's up to the line, a 1:16.1 provisional P1, but there's still 7 minutes to go. I'm not planning to go out again, so I want to save other sets of tires. We easily got through into Q2, so no issues there. But now the real challenge. This is Q2 and we're gonna try to qualify on the mediums, and the practice I've done was on the softs. I had done no laps on the medium, so I went into this with absolutely no feel for what the tires were gonna do. You can see a bit of oversteer on the exit as we open the DRS. I filled up for 2 laps. You can see going into sector 2, I'm already 700s down on Louis Welch, who tried to qualify on the mediums. But I filled up for 2 laps, so in case I don't make it in the first lap, we still have a second chance. But there's no time to go on softs anymore. So I went all in on the mediums, and it's gonna be tough to make it into Q3 on those tires, as a lot of people are on the softs, of course. Also, a lot of people who went for mediums but are just simply faster than us. 7 thousandths up to Louis Welch, but he's only in P11 with a 1:69. You can see big snap of oversteer there, and that has cost me a lot of time, surely, as my whole exit was ruined. Minimum speed might have been a bit down as well. Up to the line, we're gonna run out of ERS, which is not ideal. Opening the DRS 1:16.3, which is now P8. See what I can do in a second. But still a lot of people on laps, so this might not be enough. So I keep pushing and see towards the end of the lap if it's gonna be enough. Lucas Blakely up to P1 on the softs, 1:15.5. down to 3rd gear through that section and up to 5th. As that was quite distracting, not gonna lie. I have no idea what AlphaTauri was doing there, but probably run out of fuel or something. Into the next left-hander, missed the apex massively. And now I'm 110 down on my previous lap. I decided to keep pushing as I had that mistake in the last sector, of course. But it's not looking very good for us. Again, a little bit of a lock-up. 1.3 times down at the moment. But we cannot give up because we're only P8 and there's still a lot of people on laps. So we have to keep pushing through the next right-hander. Still 110 down. So we've made up a little bit of time as Louis Welch goes ahead of us. Up to P8. Through the next left-hander. This time it's a lot better. Still a little bit of a snap oversteer. We go into the next right-hander. Not ideal. We're only half a tent up. As we go into the final corner. Flat out now. Up to the line. This time we won't run out of ERS. Let's see if it's enough. We have dropped down to P11. Up to the line. And we make it just about.
It's not gonna be enough, is it?
Into Q3 for now. Still people on laps though. But I'm not sure if they are improving. Now let's see. Samuel Bean and Piotr Stachulek still in laps. Samuel Bean has retired, which means we're into Q3 on the mediums.
True.
Which exactly what was my aim. So that's perfect. Jake Benham P10 and Louis Welch in P11. Now, here you can see the results. Lucas Blakely P1, Dylan Warren P2, Wilson Huge P3. Basically the top 5 are all soft runners. My teammate Danny Moreno P6, Joe Hannon P7, and then Jake was in the top 10 as well on the medium. So only 4 medium runners in the top 10, which is interesting. Now, on to Q3. You can see we've only set a 16.0 so far as we start our final lap of this session. So at a very, very poor first Q3 lap, and now we have to make up for it, because if we don't improve, we're surely going to be P10. To the next left-hander, bit of oversteer, but we managed to keep it on track. 21.622, 110 up on Ulas Osildirems. I have no idea if I said that correct. I'm sorry, Ulas. But we continue pushing in this quali session down to 6th gear through here. That was not completely on the limit, and then going through here, big snap of oversteer.
What the fuck?
As that would have cost me a lot of time, surely. But we have to keep pushing to try and improve at least somewhat. Through the next right-hander, bit of a moment again. 600s up on Joe Hannon. But we're one of the first to probably cross the line on this lap. So even if we do go P1, it's not gonna stay there, surely. Again, a little bit of oversteer through that right-hander. But we managed to go 110 up. As you can hear me say, I had an absolute disaster. This was not a good lap. Loads of mistakes, and it's only gonna be P3 for now, but still loads of people on laps. This is not gonna be good enough for P3, I can tell you that now. As Wilson Huge still on a lap, but he is slowing down. Lucas Blakely, Joe Hannon still on a lap. Dylan Warren goes P2. Lucas Blakely goes P1. As you can hear, my engineers say Ben P7 at worst, but Jake Benham did not manage to improve on us. And we're going to be starting P6 for this race. Luckily for us, we are on the medium, so we can do something strategy-wise, of course, as you can see there. I'm going to be adding 0.7 laps of fuel. Starting on the medium, strategy is going to be medium soft pretty easily, so the hards are not going to be in use for this race. But wouldn't be surprised if someone uses the hards. Even if you tire wear-wise don't need it, they might still have pretty good pace. So, gonna be interesting. Now, starting the formation lap, we're gonna skip through that, of course, as usual. Just gonna be doing my usual warm-up routine. Bringing some temperature into the brakes and tires. And then... third medium runner. And then go from there. As you can hear, Ben say third medium runner, as Joe Hannon is ahead of us, and then our teammate Danny Moreno on the mediums as well, starting in P2. But yeah, let's head into it. Starting on the mediums, Wilson Huge in P5, and then there are 2 soft runners behind me as well. So this is going to be a tricky start probably, as the softs, of course, will have more grip off the line, will have much better traction, and they will have much more grip in the first few laps. So it's going to be interesting to see how we can perform against those soft turns in the first few laps. Not going to be easy, definitely, but let's head into it. Starting by Wilson Huge and Joe Hannon. 5 red lights and away we go. Initially an amazing start compared to Joe Hannon. He's on the mediums, and we managed to pull alongside into turn 1 up to P5. Now Dylan Warren runs out a little bit wide, and I saw my opportunity straight away. Went down the inside to have a go at P4, but of course they are on the soft compound of tires and will have much more grip. He squeezes a little bit wide, but no track limit warning, luckily for us. Into the next left-hander, side by side with Dylan Warren. This time he leaves us more than enough space. So fair racing from Dylan here. As into the next right-hander. This is pretty difficult to go side by side, but we leave each other enough room and we let each other live. As there with a little bit of a moment together, but no damage done to either cars, and we can both continue our journey. But yeah, up to P4, very good opening lap on those medium tires, and now we are 2 places behind our teammate Danny Moreno, and of course Lucas Blakely on the softs. He's going to be trying to pull out of the DRS. As you could hear me say a few seconds ago, I'm going to be running out of ERS for this lap. There's a maximum amount of ERS you can use each lap, and we are running out of it. As you can see now in the bottom left, all the deployment I have for this lap is used, and I have to straight away turn it on again as Joe Hannon is hunting me down into turn 1, but we managed to just about be clear. Onto half a lap later, virtual safety car deployed, so we can recharge our batteries a little bit. And yeah, of course we have to stay below the delta. You can see in the top right, we are 1.3 second green at the moment, 1.4. And
now.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we just have to keep the delta in the plus. If we go in the red, so in the minus, and the virtual safety car ends, then we will get a drive-through penalty. So we have to stay above that delta at all times. As the delta is very slow into this final right corner. Oh my god, this delta is so slow. We do manage to stay positive on the delta and resume our race, as Lucas Blakely is now pulled out of the DRS from our teammate Danny Moreno, so he's going to be pulling off into the distance probably. And yeah, we'll probably meet later on in this race when the ultimate strategy runners go to the softs. But yeah, let's see how his strategy pans out from here on. Gonna be interesting. DRS enabled, of course, so we're gonna be trying to recharge our ERS a little bit so we can strike later on in this race. Save our tires maybe a little bit as well. I did 2 push laps on those mediums, of course, so yeah, I need to save a little bit of those mediums compared to other medium runners, as I did 1 extra push lap. There's yellow flag in turn 1, and Lucas Blakely has spun off after crashing with an AI car that was not ghosted.
Did a backmarker just take Blakely out? Are you there, Ben?
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
So yeah, basically Lucas was in P1 and a backmarker came out of the pits, but that backmarker was an AI car, and the AI car did not ghost. So Lucas did expect it to ghost, but then it did not ghost, and he drove basically onto the side of the car, and basically both cars spun off. So very unfortunate for Lucas. He's basically out of this race at this point, as he had damage and he had to pit again. So not ideal for him, very unfortunate. Now, as you can see, Wilson Huge out of DRS and he decides to pit straight away. But now we have to make up the time to our teammate Danny Moreno. I'm straight away using all of my battery and DRS to have a go going back into the DRS of Danny Moreno. We need to be within 1 second, of course. And yeah, we just about managed to do. Here's the next DRS detection line. So we're going to be getting DRS on this next straight again. And now I need to start saving my ERS again a little bit. once I've closed in a little bit more. I need a little bit more comfort to be not using any ERS. Yeah, now on to lap 21. Only the top 3 still on the mediums. I have no idea what happened to Jake Benham. I think he had an incident with a decent car. But I decided to pit this lap and go for the softs for the final 12 laps of this race. Joe Hannon follows us in to the pit lane as we still have a new set of softs, which is going to be very nice, of course. No one behind us apart from Joe pitting, I think so. Piotr Stachelek and Sam Corby both come into the pits for softs as well. And there are 3 cars heading into turn 1 in around 5 seconds. They will come out equal to us. So this is going to be an important pit exit for us. But you can see all 3 cars just jump ahead of us as we come out. And that's not ideal because we want to be using our new softs straight away. And we can't because we're stuck in traffic. And this is going to harm us compared to our teammate Danny Moreno. Okay. As now we can't use our new soft compound tire to our advantage. And probably my in lap was a little bit too slow as my mediums were struggling a little bit. Also, pace was not as good as it has to be, of course, due to the lack of practice. But now we have to straight away attack Simon Perdikny into this next right-hander as we have to make moves fast. Simon decides to stay around the outside. We leave him room on both the outside and the inside here. He does the same for us in this next left-hander. He goes very deep, so we decide to go for the switchback, which we managed to pull off into the next right-hander. We just about managed to pull ahead on the entry of that corner. And now we're still in the DRS of Dylan Warren. But we have lost a lot of time with that battling. So yeah, I was not very happy with Simon straight away attacking me back. But of course, what do you want him to do? He needed to defend from Joe Hannon. As you can see, we've lost a lot of time on that outlap. We've lost time even though we're on new softs, which is not ideal. So now we still have to overtake 2 cars before we are back into our P2 position. And that's just not very ideal for us, as our teammate Danny Moreno can now just pull off into the distance without any traffic in front of him. But we just have to accept it and keep pushing and try to get into P2 as soon as possible, because that's the only thing we can do at this point. As you can see, Dylan gets a little bit of a snap of oversteer, so I decide to straight away go for it again into the next right-hander. Dylan defends, and we decide to go around the outside, just like on the opening lap. Brilliant racing here, as he just leaves us enough space on the outside and up to...
How is that what? This game, man.
As we go up to P3, so good racing with Dylan. I got a second warning, which was not really a warning. My left wheel was still on the white line. But yeah, it is what it is. That was my second warning, so I can't get any more. But if the white line is on the track limit, then it's pretty hard to know where the limit of the track is, you know. So yeah, now into the next left-hander. I'm gonna go for it straight away, as if I still want to have a chance to win this race, I need to make moves very fast. DRS open, ERS or overtake enabled down the inside of Wilson here, up to P2. Wilson backed out of it, so I didn't need to give him space on the outside, as he backed out of it anyway. So I decided to take that exit normally, and now we're up to P2, but 1.9 seconds behind our teammate. And he has 20% more ERS, so I kept pushing, but I just did not have enough ERS to catch up. And then I had to recharge it because Joe Hannon was behind me, so I just decided to let Danny go, save my tires, save my ERS, so I'll be a little bit more safe. Not safe, but so I could at least take the fight to Joe Hannon, who pitted the same lap as us, but I think might have a little bit more ERS, I'm not sure, but he has the DRS, so he has recharged faster in the past few laps, of course. Now, Joe Hannon down the inside here, I decided to let him go, because I have to recharge my ERS, basically. If he would stay behind us, we would still recharge our ERS, but it would go a little bit slower, but at the same time we will also keep track position, so there are pros and cons to letting him go, of course. But in this scenario, I felt like it was better to let him go. So yeah, now end of lap 29, still behind Joe Hannon. Our teammate Danny Reynolds pulled off into the distance as me and Joe are racing our own race now at this point. And right here, I got a warning, which was not
warnings where you're not even off track.
Yeah, we'll definitely get the first one.
As you can see here, my front right is definitely still touching the white line, which is interesting, of course. Portugal track limits are just simply off, as you can see. It's probably not very easy to see, as my face cam is probably blocking it a little bit, but my front right is still definitely touching the white line. And basically, as long as any part of the car is touching the white line, it's not an invalidation. And basically one tire was still touching the white line in all 3 track limit warnings. So yeah, the penalty did not get removed.
Last one as well.
Because apparently you need to report the incident within 20 hours.
Front wheel was well on the white line.
If you have work the next day after the league race, there's already no chance to report it anymore. So it did not get removed, which I don't agree with, of course. I had to practice next day for F1 Esports and, you know, did not have time to report that. Especially in PSGL, where it's now being watched so many times. I felt like there should be a little bit more live stewarding, you know. But it is what it is. We've got to keep on pushing. Now, final lap of the race. At the time, I still expected my penalty to be removed, of course, but it did not, which is a bit of a shambles. But final lap now. We're going to be using Oliver ERS against Joe Hannon, opening the DRS and have a go at him into turn 1. Joe goes defensive down the inside. We go around the outside. Joe covers it off nicely, but we get the switch back into the next section. He leaves us the space on the inside, and now we go side by side into the next left-hander. We will both get DRS because that ghost car was there parked on the apex. I go defensive as Joe is coming back at me. Of course, I cannot run out of ERS for this lap, because then we will lose the battle on the drag line to the finish, basically. As Joe did use the overtake, so I feel like I might have more ERS to use on this lap. Again, on the exit, I'm not using my overtake because I need it in the end. You can see Joe is flashing as we still have 53% ERS. So we can definitely do something here in the last few corners of the race. I'm not going to use my overtake again in this next left-hander, as I all want to save it or for the final few corners. On this exit, we still have so much ERS.
Is it Haas? No way.
As the Haas is going to give
This is a complete joke.
Joe some DRS, but the DRS is way too late to have any effect on that, as we get Joe just before the line. And on track we finished P2, but as you guys might know, the penalty didn't get removed. And we have dropped to P5. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We won the championship already anyway. PSGL is finished, and I got told they will start again in December. So, bit unfortunate, as I still want to be doing league racing. You know, I've got F1 Esports, of course, because I like to league race, and yeah, I feel like it helps me. Like these kind of scenarios where I don't have practice time and just straight jump into it, I really enjoy that, and it makes it really hard for me. So yeah, I've kind of have to see if I can do any other leagues in the meantime. But otherwise, it will probably be the last one for a while. But you guys enjoy the league racing videos as well, as much as I like to drive in them. So I'll definitely look and see if I can do any other leagues in the meantime until December. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you guys want to see more. I will keep you guys updated if I will do any other leaks on the community tab or on Twitter. And see you guys next time. Ciao.